I'm so excited that everybody is going to see this special. I saw you did 7 shows at Radio City. I was lucky enough to be in one of them. It's an incredible hour. And you just wrapped up your tour last night in Jacksonville, Florida.
Yes, it's been about a solid year from last May in Portland, Maine to Jacksonville, Florida, the opposite of Maine.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And we did a show at the Florida Theater, and that's the end of the Kid Gorgeous tour.
Congratulations on that. I heard that someone asked you why comedians make fun of Florida when you were in Florida.
I met a very nice young woman, 16-year-old girl, came up to me after the show, and she said, I want to be a comedy writer. I want to write at SNL. And I said, I used to write there. And she said, I know, that's why I'm talking to you about it. And she said, why do comedians always go after Florida? And I was like, huh, that's a good point. We kind of do. She's like, yes, you do. She said there was a Jeremy Renner sketch when he hosted SNL where he played the mayor of Tampa. Yeah. And when he said, I'm the mayor of Tampa, everyone laughed automatically. And I said to her, well, it's not fair that we laugh at Florida. I said, comedy writers are often lazy. And so it's like a good example of a place when you need, if you had a lot of paper towels, I'd be like, hey, Seth, what are you, Costco, Not a good joke. Not a good joke, but it's easy, right?
Yeah.
So Florida is the Costco of upsetting people, Yeah. It's just everything at once. You'd never make Florida on purpose. You'd never put it together like if it was a dinner party, you wouldn't be like, hey, you know who we should invite? A bunch of elderly Jewish people and some really cool gay people from South Beach and a bunch of conservative Cubans and a woman that looks like Bret the Hitman Hart driving a fan boat and a possum and an alligator and 12 serial killers and the richest people in the world trying not to pay taxes. And at the end of the dinner party, they decide who the president is. It's true. You wouldn't form it.
You wouldn't form it.
But I love Florida.
Oh, wow.
I
see what you did there right at the end. You got out of it.
Restored goodwill.
We mentioned they decide who the president is. Are you surprised that espionage might be the thing that brings down the Trump presidency?
That's the weirdest thing to me. Is that, I don't follow the news that well, but there's a Russia thing or whatever. If you told me, why do you think the game show host who accidentally became president got impeached? I'd be like, I don't know, just 'cause, I'd never think, it was high-stakes espionage. Yeah. It's like if they arrested Godzilla, and it's like, we got Godzilla, and it's like, oh, for burning down the city? No, tax evasion. He said his apartment was his office. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. I did that. That's no good.
That's how you know.
Yeah, I work out of my apartment.
We used to work together, as that 16-year-old girl in Florida pointed out. We were on SNL together, and you hosted. Congratulations. It was such a great episode.
Oh, thank you. That was very, very fun.
I was so excited to watch. You posted a photo of when Jon Hamm hosted SNL.
Yeah.
We all dressed up like Mad Men era writers.
Yes.
And we got drunk in the day.
All of you did. I didn't.
Yeah. And then we went into pitch dressed like this.
Which is normally pitch, I would say, is a mundane meeting at the end of Monday. Everyone's pretty tired. It's normally kind of all business and a little fun. And we got fully dressed up as Mad Men characters. A lot of people forgot to do it, and so they threw together pieces of wigs and dresses. America Sawyer just had a tie. We were all smoking and showed up to pitch drunk. And Jon Hamm is there for his first time ever.
Yeah.
And it was Comic-Con, but alcoholic.
Yeah. Also, Jon Hamm was dressed like a modern-day Jon Hamm.
Exactly.
Which was very jarring to us, because we knew him as Don Draper, and he was wearing a St. Louis Blues baseball hat.
Yeah, he was dressed like a person, and we were like, oh, you're not Mad Men like us.
A lot of attention has been paid for you outing how Colin Jost used to look. With that weird...
Was that a secret that Jost had a beard?
I
never
know.
knew that. He had long hair and a beard when I met him.
I think just people were paying less attention to him, and then they looked back in time and were like, that's a weird choice.
Oh, I thought the beard looked nice.
He's getting a lot of heat for it. I thought it was... we always thought he was a handsome guy.
It.
He's getting a lot of heat for it.
There's not enough going on. I think he looks great with his beard.
I agree. I don't know why I even brought it up.
You know, I'm gonna grow a little thin mustache.
Oh, you are?
Just I'm inspired by him. Yeah.
You're just a real thin
Just
one?
real
The
John Waters thin.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.